It's a GOP war on Black America. And if we don't stand up and fight back, we're going to be back in the cotton fields. And when I talk about fighting back, I'm not talking about taking up arms. I'm talking about taking it to the streets in protest, and also by exercising our precious right to vote. We're going to have to get out in November and vote, like John Lewis said, like our lives depend on it, because our lives do depend on it this time.
Black Democrat leaders accused of hindering progress while advocating for American unity.
2026, the 250th anniversary of the birth of this nation. And what do these Black Democrat leaders have to offer? Well, we have Al Sharpton talking about Black Americans shouldn't celebrate the 4th of July. Then we got this joker, Hank Johnson, I think that's his name, from Georgia, talking about if we enforce or if they pass the Save America Act, they'll move us back to the cotton fields. You know, these people, they depend on several things. They depend on hate, and they depend on ignorance. Because number one, it was a Democrat Party that had people in the cotton fields, of which both Hank Johnson and Al Sharpton are members. It was a Democrat Party that didn't want Black people to vote. It was a Democrat Party that had Black people as slaves. And they always, excuse me, they always go back to their past and project it on other people like they weren't responsible. Now, I'm not saying that these Black Democrats were responsible. More than likely, they were the descendants of slaves themselves. But they are the gatekeepers of the Democrat Party today. They want to keep Black people in bondage. The only thing they sell is hate, fear, and stagnation. What are they bringing to elevate the Black man in America? They never talk about the family, how it's been destroyed under Democrat policies. They never talk about the emasculation of men. They never talk about the destruction of the church. They only talk about fear and hate. Hate Trump, hate Republicans, hate anything that the Democrat Party tells them to hate. But they never tell you to hate homosexuality. They never tell you to hate debauchery. They never tell you to hate transgenders, cutting off the limbs of perfectly healthy people. I'm talking about the sexual parts of children. Children. Now, a grown person that wants to freakazoid themselves and destroy their body is their own business. But these people advocate cutting off the breasts of girls, the penises of boys. These people fight to have males in women's sports when they claim that they're for women. These people have sexually confused people in the houses of Congress, a man dressed up like a woman, and they expect us to think that's normal. These people do not care about the fact that the students in these public schools are not learning anything. I'm talking about Black people particularly. Since we have these Black so-called leaders talking about bringing you back to the cotton fields. These people live in gated communities. They're not concerned about crime, like 30 people got shot on Juneteenth in Chicago. They don't talk about that. They don't care about that. All they care about is keeping you, fellow Black Americans, under bondage. These people didn't say a word about the 10 to 20 million illegals that came into this country under the Biden administration, sucking up resources that could help people like you. No, these people are gatekeepers. These people are parasites. These people hate the very people they claim to stand for. These people are vicious, wicked, evil, and disgusting. They never, ever do anything to elevate the black man. All they do is elevate hate. They just develop and keep your mind messed up. That's all they do. They're evil. But I'm going to celebrate this nation. This is our home. I'm going to celebrate the United States of America. And I'm going to work to make it better. I'm a black American. I was born here. I fight for this country. These are the same people that talk about the content of your character, but at the same time they tell you your character means nothing. These are the same people that say that you're a citizen, but your citizenship means nothing because they want to let illegals vote. These are the same people that claim that your rights are being infringed upon, but they advocate letting illegals vote, which will infringe upon your rights. These are the same people that claim that they care about you and they care nothing for you. They do nothing to make your life better. Happy 4th of July.